Do you hear that? It's game audio. I did an oopsie last 2 episodes once again, and I didn't record the game audio, and then I did an oopsie at the beginning of this episode, and my microphone was peaking a lot, and now it might be a little bit quiet, but I can boost it, and things haven't been going well regarding this episode. And that's not where the issues end, because yes, my entire team is level 36 because we're going to take on the gym today, and the gym leader has a level 37 Pokemon. But as you'll be able to see when I go into the summary, pretty much everybody other than Rivian has gotten 0 experience within this level. Did everybody magically get just enough experience to level up to exactly level 36? No. I did the entire grinding, which added with the fact that Elena needed friendship to evolve, took me about 2 to 2.5 hours. And then, of course, we needed to evolve John into an Alakazam. As I said, level 36, he's gonna get to be an Alakazam, and just look at that special attack stat, it's magnificent. But something went wrong with Pokegen, and I accidentally wiped my save off from the emulator. Luckily, I do have save states, which also function as backups, so I could save again and do it properly the second time around. But the last save state I had, most of my Pokemon were around like 30 to 32. And I wasn't about to do all of that grinding again. So I did just go into Pokegen and make everybody level 36 with the movesets they had at the end of my grinding. You're just gonna have to trust me that I didn't change anything else. I don't know what I would have changed, because you can just look up the learn sets for every Pokemon that I have on my team. Nobody has an illegal move. I guess I could have, in theory, changed the IVs. But I could have done that from the start, so I don't know why you're worrying about that. So let's go through our team real quickly. Elena now has Dizzy Punch return, because obviously Happy Evolution return goes very well together. Quick Attack and Jump Kick. Then Rivian hasn't changed. John now has Psycho Cut and the most magnificent special attack ever. That's the wrong button. And then we've got Mark, which learned Ancient Power. I was very, very happy to see that. And I mean, if Alakazam has a good special attack, look at these defenses. 127 and 115. This thing is an absolute wall, and not going to be too useful in the upcoming gym, sadly. Then we've got Crash, which hasn't learned anything, I don't think. Then we've got Groove, which I think learned Bubble Beam off screen, possibly. Not Bubble Beam, Bullet Seed. Also starts with a B. That's our team for the time being, and today we're going to go into this gym, and I swear to God, the fly is back. I swear to God, the fly is back. I haven't recorded in like 2 days because I've been busy with other stuff. Oh no, there's a rival battle. I didn't. We're good. We're good. We're good. We can do this. He starts off with a Saravia. We can take on a Saravia. It's no issue. We can do this. I can show you how powerful Elena has become with Return. I actually haven't used any of these Pokemon at level 36 in battle. Because as soon as they hit level 36, obviously, I switched them out. A lot of them I did use, I guess all of them, I did use at level 35. But everybody knows at level 36, you just get a huge stat bonus, and that's not actually the case. So, why are you doing so much less damage? Is that just min-max in my... Well, not my favor. Oh my God! I hate Endeavor. I freaking hate Endeavor. It always scares me so much. Okay, so I've got a topic for today to start off this video. Monferno is actually not an issue because I've got a Psychic type. Because I spent my entire morning, it's like 4:15 PM right now. And I woke up at about 11, I did a little bit of work, did some editing for clients, and then I spent the rest of my day up until now, which is multiple hours, trying to figure out some math. And I think I might have just dropped like 90% viewership after saying the word math. But it wasn't even math, because the actual math I don't do math, I do math. Breeze. Let's go into Groove, because why not? I still have to do the actual math. It's just I needed some information, some data to do the actual math with, and the difficult part is coming up soon, and I'm working on a video which is going to be fairly interesting, I think. I dropped the ID for the Chimchar solo run, obviously, like I mentioned in the last episode before that, or both, or even more than both. But instead I'm working on a possibly more interesting and unique video, and not just riding the hype train with the challenge runs, right? So I can deal with you as well, it's no issue. Other than the fact that you are a grass type and might be a little bit stupid to stay in. I'm not going to tell you quite what it is yet. If you're in my Discord and you actually like read and keep up with the things I say, over the past month or so I have mentioned it in the Discord. And these are the kind of things I just, like, I throw IDs, I pitch IDs in the Discord a little bit, and a couple of people that are actually still active in there. I do value the opinions I get there. So if you want to be into... I just threw something on the floor. If you want to be into that, or, well, in like the inner circle of this channel, you definitely should join the Discord. Link's always down below in the description of every single video, and I think it's on my channel page somewhere as well. So that's just my Discord plug for today. Oh my god. This should kill the Rosalia, I mean. So I'm going to have to do quite a lot of math and quite a lot of work and some testing and stuff to get that video up. But I've been doing a lot of like research and trying to find data and all that kind of stuff online, and it was pretty impossible to find anything that I needed to know, I'm gonna be honest. So the question is, because I was doing a lot of like research and doing a little bit of like calculation, and a huge shout out to like the people in the Team Caterpie Discord, which is not my Discord, obviously, that's Hardy's Discord, which actually helped me out like looking at stuff and coming up with ideas as to how to get the data I needed. Because without them I probably would have had a much rougher time at it. But that made me think, well, these people apparently don't mind math as much, and people don't like math generally, and I don't understand why, because I know a lot of people just aren't that good at it. But what is it specifically about math that makes people like very unhappy and difficult to deal with it? Because I'm decent, I'm pretty good at math. I've always been in high school and college both. I've always been top of my class in math, really. I don't think I've gotten one semi-bad grade in my life for math. That's... Okay, this is going to be a vlogger boasts about his skills kind of episode. Also, I'm probably going to lead with Rivian because bullet heat is not reliable. So the thing is, for anybody watching this from like America or anything, the way we do our grades over here is it's pretty much percentages, but we do it on a scale from 0 to 10 or 1 to 10 really, with 1 decimal point. So that pretty much makes it into percentages, because if you get a 6.5 you got a 65%. So and a 5.5 is the minimum to be considered good enough. It's not 50%, it's 55% is the minimum you need to get, because it rounds up to a 6. And 6 is what you need to get at the very minimum to be considered like that's good enough. My average for math in high school probably was like an 8.5. And the lowest I've ever gotten was, I think, a 6.2. And I was very disappointed when I got that. That was my first year of high school, at the very end of the year, and I just messed up a test very badly. Well, not very badly, of course, because I still got a 6.2, and that's, in my books, higher than a 5.5. And then we had 2 different kind of math exams at the end of high school. We got like just basic calculus, I guess, like just add these, multiply these, divide these, which was a fairly short exam. The thing is though, those exams lasted for 2 hours, and you're not allowed to get up and leave during the first hour, not to break concentration, right? But it's very easy math, because it's literally just a page, 2 pages of just like 15 plus 20, 25 times 13, 135 divided by something. And the divisions weren't even like very difficult with a lot of decimal places or something. Like it's very easy math. So I finished after about 20 minutes because I'm like, yep. No, this one, no, this one, no, this one, no, this one. And I look up at the clock and I'm like, okay, shit, so I'm gonna have to sit here for like another at least 30 minutes. Officially about 40 to 45 minutes, but so I sat there for a little bit. And then I was like, no, fuck this. So I just stood up and handed in my exam and just left, and there was no issue whatsoever, because of course there wasn't. Why is there even a rule where you can't get up and leave during the first hour? I guess it is to discourage people from just messing up the exam on purpose and leaving early because they don't want to be there. I guess that's why. Also, you're not a water type, yes, are you? You're not a fairy type either, so that's good. I guess that's a reasoning, but still, it's a stupid rule. I don't know if that was like a actual like exam national standard rule, or that's just my school being my high school and being stupid. I don't know which one it was. I really do lean towards the second one. If there's any Dutch people watching this, and statistically definitely there is, because that's another topic. I'll maybe get into this episode, maybe get into next episode, but damn, there's a lot of Dutch people on the internet. In your high school exams, if you've had them yet, which I'm gonna go ahead and guess that you have, because I feel like my demographic is like not that young, the people watching this. That's another good question. Actually, I was gonna ask as a common question of the day, do you like math? And while that was a good common question, this is a way more interesting one, because yes, YouTube demographics do show ages, but we all know people tend to lie about their age on the internet, especially, I mean, my YouTube channel itself probably states the correct age in the YouTube database, but I have some accounts on like Google and maybe even Facebook where I probably don't have the correct age, because sometimes you have to be like 13 or 15 or something to make an account on certain servers, but you're not, so you just say you were born in 1980, and that makes me like 40 years old. I was going to say 50, but that's not right. That makes me 40 years old in that database, and I can see that in my YouTube analytics, definitely. There's a lot of like 45-year-old men watching my content, which I very, very much doubt. So, I'd be very interested to know how old the people watching this are. I'm also, this always gets a laugh out of me. I don't know why this is a thing, this part of the gym. I would like to know how old like the demographic watching these videos is, which is difficult to pin down, but I'm even more interested in the people that are actually like very active in the comment section and this like little community we have here. Because it's just a number of people, a very small amount of people, that is. And like the most active people, I always assume, and wrongly so, that people are right around my age. I'm 23. But I think time after time I end up finding out that people are like younger than I imagine them being, which isn't a big deal. It's not a bad thing whatsoever. It's not like it's your fault that you're a certain age, right? I mean, other than the fact that it is kind of your fault if you're old because you didn't die yet and you do have the option to choose to. But let's not get into that. So the common question of the day, it's been on screen this entire time. What is your age? Obviously, I said mine is 23. coming up on 24 rather soon. Actually, not rather soon. It's October. As of me recording this, it is October 6th. And my birthday is at the end of March. So we've got pretty much the entirety of October, November. That's about half a year. So I'm not actually coming up on 24. I'm halfway there. So, yeah. Okay, so now my other topic I just mentioned. There's a lot of Dutch people on the internet, and I'm very freaked out by it because back in the day, like the community I had around the channel, which was people like Thiago and Kurt and Logan and all those kind of people, which you don't really see on the channel anymore because we've all gotten our own lives in the past like 4 years. And well, actually, some of them have been on Twitch when I was doing Twitch for a couple of weeks there. But I met Kurt through somebody else through the internet, and then I met Thiago through him, and then I met Logan, which is another guy I know, through him. And do I have any potions? It seems like I may not. In which case, Aurum berries it is, because I'm not running all the way back to the gym if I don't have to. And through that like chain of meeting people, I met a Dutch person, which in a certain sense is not that unlogical because he was a producer of the musics, and apparently that's something we as the Dutch just export. We export music producers. It's our second biggest export after tulips at this point. That's not actually the case, but it kind of feels like it. If you're like big into electronic music production, a lot of the people you probably listen to are Dutch. But then, as is kind of obvious, I would say at this point, I mean, the entire reason I am making these videos again is because Hardy came back. And that inspired me to, well, let's do that. That sounds like a lot of fun. And here we are like 2 or 3 months later and I'm still doing it. But I've been more active in the Team Caterpie Discord channel as well as of late. And this doesn't seem right. What do I do here? This does not seem right whatsoever. Yes, it does. Never mind. It is. This is right. And there's quite a lot of Dutch people in there as well. Which makes a lot less sense. I mean, it's not a bad thing. I mean, I'm at the exit anyway. Might as well just go heal up. I don't know how to get to Crash Your Wake. Okay, Fly, if you don't fuck off now, I'm going to murder your entire family. Which, maybe you're not the same Fly. Maybe you're not. I don't even know if you guys can see it on camera, that's the thing. It's such a small thing flying around so quickly. So yeah, there's a lot of Dutch people in there as well. To the point where a couple of nights ago, or like a week ago from me recording this, but words at this point, there were like only Dutch people talking in English to each other. It's a weird thing. It's a weird thing I always feel a little uncomfortable doing. Not because it's like bad in any way, shape or form per se, but when I had my English exam for my high school. Okay, so we need to get back there with full WhatsApp. I don't understand. I really don't understand what's going on here. Probably if I paid attention for more than 2 seconds, this wouldn't be an issue whatsoever. So I'm going to do that. But I'm also going to try to keep talking. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, the teacher taking my English exam, my vocal for my high school was obviously not just somebody who just spoke English, but I had never... It's this easy. It's that easy. I'd never met the guy because it was an English teacher from a different high school, and that's a real nice thing because obviously that makes him impartial to judging the students. Graduating from college, I just had my exams with my own teachers. I'm like, yeah, this doesn't seem very objective because you have 4 years of history with every student you're examining here. Seems like there is opportunity for favoritism here, and I feel like that definitely in some cases was the case. It might have benefited me though, so I'm not going to complain. But yeah, high school. Okay, Floatle, this is your ace already, so I can capture this. I want to capture this. I had never met a guy before, and obviously I knew. Why? I didn't know he had crunch, to be fair. But I've only ever heard a guy speak English, so it wasn't weird or awkward to talk English to him. But I don't know. It's just always weird when you know somebody speaks the same first language as you do. In this case, Dutch. And then speaking English to them. It just seems weird. I don't have an issue with it in like a group if there's people who don't speak Dutch and there's other Dutch people in there. Is this a good idea? It's probably a bad idea. Let's go for Psybeam. But I have also had a lot of things in like English class in school, right? Where you get an assignment like talk about this. These points in English with a classmate as your partner, which is just a stupid exercise, I might add. It is not going to go well for me, is it? The thing is, I'm afraid to go into Mark because Mark's just going to die. But it might be the only thing I have that actually can take a hit. That always is awkward because you know each other from speaking Dutch, you always speak Dutch, and now you're forcefully speaking English to each other, which is just weird. And to a certain extent, we only lost one Pokemon, that's actually surprising. To a certain extent, that also happens with me in their Discord. If there's only Dutch people talking, it's like, yeah, we're not going to start talking Dutch now, because that's very, very exclusive against everybody else in here. Also, give a nickname to the Court Blank. You know what? Since I'm talking about Team Caterpie in Discord, and since we're not going to catch a Caterpie anyway, I'm going to call you Hardy. Because it's not going to be a Caterpie we can catch in here, and I don't want to like waste time looking into a nickname. So Hardy the Floater is also going to be on our team right away because Groove the Octillery already died after being caught last episode. That's a little bit sad. But obviously, it's an upgrade. I don't actually know if it's an upgrade because I very, very much like Octillery. Octillery gets a lot of like type coverage, just as Miss Maggie's does, and I appreciate that. I think Floatzel is a better water type, but less of a good Pokemon for type coverage, which I don't know if I need much type coverage anymore because I think my team is fairly balanced as it is right now. I think we could do with like an electric type, but we have Thunder on Miss Maggie's if need be. We could do with a fighting type, but we have a Lopunny, which isn't fighting type, don't get me wrong, it's not Mega Lopunny, but it has a Jump Kick, which isn't a good fighting type move, but still. Another thing I wanted to mention real quick now that we are still in the episode, and I'm going to pull up a little notepad I have here, because I made some notes. I was Pokejanning because I needed to change Alakazam, Kadabra into an Alakazam. And while I was on Pokejan, I figured, let's actually take a quick look, Octillery, someone that died, at my Pokemon IVs, because I'm curious. And is it going to give me an advantage? Not necessarily, because I can just look at their stats anyway. I'm just curious to see their IVs. And I found a really interesting pattern because obviously these are stolen Pokemon, so they're not randomly generated. So the IVs aren't randomly generated either. The IVs on these Pokemon are actually pre-programmed. And that means that for most Pokemon you steal from other trainers, they have 0 IVs in every stat. So that means that the Lopunny we have, and I think the Gliscor we have, and probably the Bastiodon here, all have 0 IVs in all their stats. And that's not good. And then Alakazam for some reason had 2 IV points. Also voice crack. 2 IV points in every single stat. And that's probably something to do with the trainer class. I imagine that's because it was from a scientist, and scientists have a little bit better IVs. And then I imagine that Ace trainer Pokemon have better IVs than that even. But what really interested me is that the gym leader Aces I have captured so far, which in the case of our current team are Rithian and Hardy, have 12 IVs in every single stat. I don't know if that's just the ace of the gym leader or if gym leaders just have 12 IVs on all of their Pokemon. And I imagine that the Elite Four has probably like 16 IVs in every single stat, and then the champion maybe like 20 something IVs in every single stat. But it's a very interesting thing to find out. These are pre-programmed IVs, not naturally generated. So that makes these Pokemon literally the weakest they can be. And that also makes the gym leader Pokemon even more valuable than they already were, because they actually have a little bit better IVs, and getting up in a little bit higher level range now, that actually is going to matter a tiny bit, starting right now. So that's going to be it for today though, because this all ended up being roughly half an hour somehow. So next time I think we're taking on Team Galactic, which is going to be fun. Until then, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to my channel if you have enjoyed the video, which hopefully you have. I'll see you all back next time. Bye.